David had always been fascinated by abandoned places, ghost towns frozen in time, and the haunting beauty of decay. His latest obsession was Pripyat, the abandoned city near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Ever since watching a documentary about the disaster, he felt an inexplicable pull towards the place, a need to see it with his own eyes. Ignoring the warnings and the tales of danger, David planned a trip to the exclusion zone. Equipped with a Geiger counter, a map, and a camera, he set off, determined to capture the eerie silence and forgotten memories of Pripyat. He arrived at the checkpoint early in the morning. The guards, used to the occasional daredevil tourist, gave him a stern warning about the radiation levels and the risks involved. David nodded, impatient to begin his exploration. As he walked through the deserted streets, he marveled at the overgrown playgrounds, the decaying buildings, and the rusting Ferris wheel, a silent witness to the tragedy that unfolded decades ago. At first, David was cautious. He checked his Geiger counter regularly, noting the occasional spike in radiation, but nothing too alarming. He wandered through the city, snapping pictures of the haunting scenes, the empty schools with lesson plans still on the blackboards, the abandoned amusement park, the hospital filled with discarded medical equipment. But as the hours passed, David began to feel unwell. It started with a headache, a dull throb that gradually intensified. He brushed it off, attributing it to the excitement and the long walk. However, the headache soon turned into dizziness. His vision blurred, and he felt a wave of nausea. His Geiger counter began to click more frequently, a stark reminder of the invisible danger surrounding him. David decided it was time to leave. He turned back, trying to retrace his steps to the checkpoint. But the city seemed different now, more menacing. The once fascinating ruins now felt oppressive, and the silence was suffocating. He stumbled through the streets, his strength waning with each step. The nausea grew worse, and he could barely keep his balance. By the time he reached the checkpoint, David was in bad shape. The guards took one look at him and rushed him to a medical facility set up for radiation emergencies. The doctors worked quickly, but the prognosis was grim. David had been exposed to a lethal dose of radiation. The symptoms were progressing rapidly. Vomiting, severe headaches, and skin burns were just the beginning. As he lay on the hospital bed, David's mind drifted in and out of consciousness. He could hear the doctors discussing his condition, their voices filled with concern. He thought of the abandoned city, the silent witness to his folly. The beauty that once fascinated him now seemed like a cruel joke. In his final moments, David understood the true horror of Chernobyl. It wasn't just the explosion or the immediate aftermath. It was the lingering death, the invisible killer that remained long after the event. He realized that his fascination had blinded him to the reality of the danger, and now he was paying the ultimate price. David's story ended as a cautionary tale. The abandoned city of Pripyat remained, its silent streets a reminder of the past and a warning to those who dared to venture too close. The beauty of decay was a trap, and David had fallen victim to its deadly allure.